Welcome back, guys. Neil JT here, and so happy for you guys to be here. So today is officially day 7, I think, of my KDP passive income journey. And yeah, there's been a lot of struggles, and I really believe, though, that this is the best way to make passive income online. I've done Amazon FBA, I've done drop shipping, I've done regular services for like personal trainers, building websites. I've tried everything, and so far, I think I would say this is the easiest and the quickest startup. Like, you can get going in one day. 2 days. 2 days you can have a book on Amazon, the setup and everything. With everything else, if you were to do Amazon FBA or dropshipping, I did wholesale as well. You have to get a wholesale license. You got to get that from the state. You got to set up an LLC. You know, there's so much time involved with that and a bunch of fees. And then setting up an Amazon Seller Central account so that you can sell on Amazon. That takes a while because they have to send you a letter in the mail with like a code, and that takes like 10 days. And then you have to go through an interview process and verify with like your license. And that took, the last time I set up an Amazon Seller Central account, it took 3 weeks just to set it up. And then you're talking about shipping from China. You got another month and a half there. How long it takes them to manufacture, maybe 2-3 weeks. Get a sample in. Like, you've got to do anything drop shipping or a product, you're talking months and fees and paying for all this shit and so many steps in the process, right? There's so many things you have to learn when it comes to that, and optimizing your listing, your SEO, keywords, doing niche research, finding the manufacturers, talking to a ton of manufacturers, getting the sample in, changing the product so it's different than the other products on Amazon. There's so much that goes into it. With KDP, it's like done. Like, you don't have to do anything. It's like all set up. In 2 days, you can have a book published on Amazon making sales in 2 days. Like, there's no other business model you can do that. And you know, they always say it takes money to make money. And I've seen so many people that have made passive income with KDP and not spent any money on advertising. There's only one way to do that, though. So you have to spend more time doing niche research. So essentially, you can look at it like this. There's 2 options, which I talked about in the last video. You have method 1, which is do a ton of research so that you can find the best book possible, a high quality book. You make a high quality book in a niche that is selling, that is getting crazy sales. That's how you do it. Or option 2 is you pay a ton of money into ads upfront, and you're probably maybe gonna break even, if not take a negative loss on the first 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, until you get traction from the ads to get organic sales. So I am doing, like I said, I want to really try and do a budget of just like $150 a month, nothing crazy. And that goes so fast, guys. Like, you can do a budget of $3 a day. And I did it on my last book, and it got like 1,200 impressions, which just means eyes on, like people that saw it, and got 4 clicks for $3. So if I think about it, 4 clicks for $3, but no sales. So every day spending $3, so that's 4 times, let's just say 6, so like 24, 30. So like say 30 clicks a week for 3 times 7 is $21. So $21 to get, 30 clicks. Maybe you get a sale or 2 sales or 3 sales or 4 sales from that. So at a royalty of $4, so 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So yeah, exactly. It's the same exact thing as if you put in a ton of money because you end up breaking even. When you're paying for ads, like, unless you get like super lucky and like you have 200 family and friends that are going to leave you a review and buy that book in the first week, so that the algorithm on Amazon puts you on that first page. you're going to end up spending money on ads and breaking even. Even if you spent, let's just say, I just saw a girl that did this, her first month, she spent $1,500 on ads and she sold $1,700 worth of books. So she she made $200. So same thing, if you spend 150 on ads, you might make 150, $200. So you only made $50. So it's really like you're gonna either break even, maybe make a little bit of money, maybe lose some money when you're going the ad route, irregardless if you do $150 or $1,000. It doesn't matter. So with me, what I realized the other day, I uploaded one of my books. I told you I worked 4 days on it. I wrote it. It was 163 pages. Like 50 of the pages are journal. So it was, about, I think like 86 pages I really wrote. And what I didn't realize with books, like there's different margins. So when you're picking the trim size, like typical journal that you're writing in is like 7 to 10, or like a notebook is 8.5 by 11, or a regular like fiction, nonfiction, like typically 6 by 9 or smaller. And so when you pick the size of the book, when you go to upload it in KDP, there's a bleed and no bleed option. So bleed means that when they cut the book in KDP, like when they cut all the pages and everything, it's going to bleed out of the margins. So you're going to lose some of whatever you put. So if you put a picture in the middle and the book is here and it comes all the way out to the edges, it's going to chop some of that off. No bleed means you are perfectly in the margins set. And the problem is when you use Canva or Adobe Illustrator to make these, there's no like setting on there to see exactly for it to crop. It's kind of hard to explain, but like essentially, so say you have your page and you're typing your novel and it's going in there, and then you go to upload it on KDP, you don't know the actual margin. Like they have like an outline, so sometimes it gets cut like very strange. And if you're off by like 1/10 of an inch, you might lose some words or some drawings. And this happened to me because I didn't realize that there's a different margin for a left page and a right page. So when you're making a book and you're flipping through it, the margins are different on both sides. So with me, I wanted my book to look fancy, and I spent so much time doing this. It was such a waste of time. But I put this border, this like collar border on the top, like these two borders on the top of the page, and I did it for all 163 pages. And I didn't realize that the margins were different. And then when I uploaded it in KDP, I was like looking at it and I'm like, okay, page 1 looks good. And then I looked at page 2 and the one on the right was like over. And then I flipped again and then the one on the left was over. And they were all mismatched, all 163 of them. And I'm like, oh my God. And the only way to fix it is manually. I had to go back for 163 pages and just ever so slightly move it. And the problem with that is you have to type in the measurement, re-upload it back into KDP to make sure you're in that bleed so it's not over. And it is so time consuming. So I ended up just deleting every single corner piece I had because I'm like, to mathematically type in every single one was going to take me 3 hours. And I'm like, well, I'm not doing this. But my point of this is that you're going to learn a lot of lessons as you do this. Like you're not going to make your first book and it's going to be $1 million book. And it's great though, because you learn what not to do. And like I always said with like fitness, I used to be a bodybuilder. And when you fail, that is the only way to lead you to success. Arnold Schwarzenegger said it so many times. He tried to bench 500 pounds 10 times and he'd fail and he'd fail and he'd fail. And he kept doing it, kept trying, but he kept failing. And then on the 11th time he tried it, he benched 500 pounds. My point is he had to keep failing, fail to succeed. And you'll learn this with your books as you start using Canva or Adobe and creating these books and uploading them. Oh, this goes here. Oh, this bleed cuts off this bottom section a little bit more, so I got to make sure the numbers for the pages are up a little bit higher. You'll start learning all this, so it gets easier and easier over time, and you will start succeeding. Your books will start looking that much better. And I was real irritated because I spent a lot of time putting all these corner pieces and measuring them up perfectly just to delete them. I'm like, my book's gonna be fancy. No one has corner pieces in the illustration in the center of the book. I'm gonna stand out. And I was like, well, I know why no one puts corner pieces in the center of the book now, because you have different margins and it would take forever. So that was a hard lesson I learned, but still, I'm super excited to be on this journey. Like I said, it's been about a week. I have a fall planner that I'm coming out with. And I know a lot of people on KDP don't like to say what they're releasing, but I want to be fully transparent. For the most part, like I want to show you guys, I'm not going to show you exactly the details of the books and whatnot, but yeah, I have a fall planner coming out. My thought process is it's fall time. It's a kids planner. And I can see in the searches that everyone is searching for kids journals, kids coloring books, kids Halloween books, Halloween planners. So that's a really high category. And right now we're in Q4, which is the highest sales of the season because all the holidays are coming up. So this is when people spend the most money on Amazon. And if you research, watch any other YouTubers that sell, doesn't matter if it's KDP, books, wholesale, FBA, any products on Amazon, all the sales are always the highest right now because of the holidays. Everyone's spending astronomical amounts of money. So when you're doing your niche research, and like I said, you have two routes to go. You can spend a ton on ads, or you can do a really good job at researching and finding like the best keywords and everything that are going to get you the most sales possible so that you rank without having to run advertisements. This is what I'm doing. The goal is you want to find a book or a category, a niche that has low reviews but is getting tons of sales. I saw a book the other day. It had 14 reviews and they were making $1,500 a day on 14 reviews because it's everyone wants to buy it right now. So that's the trick, is you want to find a niche that everyone is trying to buy right now, but there's not a lot of competition. It's not oversaturated. Like if you go to self-help books, so many, there's freaking a million. You go in there and they all have 1,000 reviews. That's going to be really tough. You're going to come in with no reviews and it's already oversaturated and everyone's buying it. You need to find a niche that isn't oversaturated, but people are buying it. That's the trick. So it's like you're trying to find what's trending, I guess that would be the word. Find what's trending, find books that have low reviews, and then look at the BSR rating, which is at the bottom of the page, which is bestsellers rank. And typically, so rule of thumb, if it's under 100,000, it's making sales. So if you find a book and it says BSR 64,000, you take that BSR 64,000 and I forget what the website is. I think it's like TCM Books, and it's a calculator, and you can put in the book and type in the BSR and it'll tell you the daily sales. I'll go more into detail with technical stuff in the upcoming videos. I'll start showing my screen of what I'm doing and whatnot, especially when I start doing ads. I'm not doing any ads right now because my book has only been live for a day and I want to give it 3 days to see if any organic traffic comes in. And then I'll start doing ads and doing bids and finding the keywords and all that stuff. But I'll show my screen when I'm actually doing it. But yeah, it really is a great passive income stream. I think it's the best, the easiest. I think it should have been the first one I ever did. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be a drop shipper. I'm going to do FBA. There's like 150 things you have to learn for those. And you have to have a lot more money up front. And there is way more risk. With the books, it's like you can have a product on Amazon in 2 days. You cannot do that with anything else. You can't do wholesale, FBA, or FBM, which is fulfilled by merchant, which means you order the product from Japan, China, wherever, and it comes to your house, you pack and ship it to the customer. That's fulfilled by merchant. You can't do any of that with all those. Those take months, and you have to buy all the product up front. So like you have to buy all the product up front, and you take a risk of it not selling, and then you're stuck with all this product. I've seen it happen, $5,000, $10,000 wasted hundreds and hundreds of times. I've watched so many videos of people wasting money. With a book, you can create a book for $0, and have it on Amazon in 2 days. And you can make sales. And yes, you can run advertisements to get more sales. And the great thing with the advertisements is, like I said, you have to spend money to make money. You put in the advertisements. Yes, maybe you break even for 3 months. You pay $1,500 a month, but you get that $1,500 back. So it's 0, 0, 0. Zero money spent for 3 months, but the algorithm on I keep wanting to say Instagram, on Amazon now is putting you up on that first page in the top search results. So you're going to organically start getting sales. So you got to get that snowball moving to eventually get the sales. But at least with that, you're not spending boatloads of money on a huge risk that you're not going to get it back. With the advertising, you're going to at least break even. Maybe you lose $100, $200 one month, but then you make it back up the next month. With buying a product from Japan and labeling it, private labeling it all yourself and shipping it to Amazon, paying for it to be shipped and this and that, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and at a risk that it won't sell. So really, publishing is the absolute best way to go. I think it's so simple and it's fun. When you get to go on Canva and you're like designing the cover, and it's so easy. All you do, like if you're doing a kid's Halloween book, coloring book, all you do is go and type in Canva Halloween, and you get a million different Halloween things, and you just drag it over onto the cover, and you can change the colors and add a background, do all this stuff, and it's fun. It's artistic, it's creative. And then you have something that you created in a day, 2 days, and it's out there for the world to buy. So that's a pretty incredible thing. You can't do that with any other business model I've ever tried. And no, I do not have the results yet to show you that, hey, this works. I'm making $1,000 a day. Like I don't have the results to show you, but hopefully with going through all of these videos and as I continue to progress, I'll be able to show you the results of how I'm achieving it with running very little ads, not spending any money. And again, it's a learning curve. You're going to learn a lot of lessons, and sometimes it can be hard, but you just got to not give up, because I put this analogy in my book. It's two miners are digging down. You know, I've seen this meme on TikTok, and they're digging down and they're looking for a diamond. And the one guy is digging, they're digging for like a week, right? And they're both digging, going down at the same depth, right? And then on day 10 or whatever it is, the one digger is like, I'm done. And the other digger keeps going. And in the picture, what you see is right when that one digger quit, he had to swing the axe one more time, and there was a huge diamond there. And the other digger swung the axe one more time and got the diamond. So the point is that with all your struggles, like I said with Arnold, benched 10 times trying to do 500 pounds, got it on the 11th. What if he had quit on the 6th time or the 7th time or the 8th time or the 9th time? He would have never done it. So it's the same thing with the book. If you keep going month after month, month 1, month 2, you're not making any profit, but you're getting sales. So that tells you it is possible. That's all you need to think. What if? What if it is possible? And once you get those sales, even if you're not making money, that should give you the incentive to keep going, to know that you have the potential to actually make something great. So I'm going to close it off there. It was just a little quick video on my progression and some motivation for you guys to keep chasing your passion and your dreams. It doesn't happen overnight. Nothing does. There's no business model that's going to make you a millionaire in 1 month. Just like fitness, you're not going to become Mr. Olympia in a year or 2 years or